Let me preface this video by saying I am a pit of anxiety right now. I can't tell you how long I put off making this video and how much I debated quitting making videos altogether, but honestly it's something to do while I'm like stuck here being sick, and I'm gonna explain to you everything that's been going on, but I just wanted to say that first. So the last video, I'll start off by saying the last video I made that I posted on YouTube was my Mad Hatter tutorial. I had 3 Halloween looks planned to film, edit, and upload. The first one I got done, the second, and edited and upload. The second one was my mermaid look with like special effects gills and a hook mouth, or no, I put the hook in the gills this time, yeah. And that's on my Instagram, and but I like filmed it, I still have the footage, but I didn't edit it or upload it because I got too sick to do it. So this is kind of where everything like starts to decline, like become a major shit show basically. October I filmed the Halloween tutorial. After that I got sick. I progressively got sicker and sicker until I couldn't even work. Like at my last check I worked 10 hours and that was it, and those were all like at home, working on the computer, calling people, doing stuff like that hours, because like I could not do any physical, like going downstairs, taking pictures, doing anything, you know? And that really like depresses me. Like when I can't work I automatically like feel like I just feel useless. Like I want to feel like a useful person. And I'm gonna also stop right here and say that this video is probably going to be a little bit all over the place, and I'm going to mention a lot of things, but I've been gone for so long. And this is what I really like to do. I like to be a creator. Like I didn't know that until I got to college, but you know, it kind of makes sense now, because every time I would have like an art project or a writing assignment or anything like that where I had to use my imagination or like put my personal spin on something, I like jumped into it. I was so excited. I wanted to be the group leader. I wanted to do it. Like I always did science fair projects, you know. I got reading awards. I was always living in a fantasy world in my head. And yeah, so like I just really like creating things, and I'm a really imaginative person, and I have like a lot of strong opinions and ideas, and I just like to put them out into the world. So YouTube is kind of like a natural thing for me to do whenever I have spare time. Okay, back to what I was talking about. So October, mid-October, I think that was the last time I worked. I'd say about mid-November, I stayed pretty sick, but I was like, you know, trying to do a little bit of work. I think the first week of November was the week I had 10 hours maybe. I don't even know. And then I just couldn't work at all, and I was like bedridden. So mid-November I stopped eating completely. Like I'm not intaking any food, and I'm like sick, like really sick. Like I'm throwing up, you know, everything is just really bad. I'm hurting, I'm bedridden. I am hospitalized towards the like end of November. I honestly think it was the 18th. I don't know why I remember the 18th, but I do. So I think it was the 18th when I was hospitalized or something like that, and I was released after like one night. They like pumped me full of fluids, put me on a lot of drugs, sent me home with some Klonopin, was like, it's your anxiety, go. So sent me on my way. Basically just told me it was all in my head, you know how doctors like to do. I'm sure some of you, you know. Anyways, I get released and I'm immediately bedridden. Like I'm bedridden, and this was after like 3 trips to the ER, I think, when they finally kept me, and then they sent me home the next day, and then I stayed, or maybe I stayed 2 nights. I think I stayed 2 nights. But anyways, then I come home and I'm bedridden again. Like I'm sick. I can't do anything. I'm still in bed. I'm still like not eating. At this point, I haven't eaten for a little under a month. Like I think it was 3 weeks at this point I hadn't eaten. And so I go to see another doctor. Like I'm just like sick, bedridden, can't get up, can't work, can't do anything. So finally, you know, through some connections, which I'm very thankful for. I got to see this doctor, and she saw me, and she immediately hospitalized me. She was like, you know, you're pretty close to needing a feeding tube. We need to get you in the hospital. We need to get you on fluids, medications, and figure out what's going on, do tests, and then, you know, figure out how to treat you. And I was like, thank you, thank God, someone's gonna help me. I was so thankful. So I go to the hospital, and I stayed there about a week. I was in the hospital for about a week for severe dehydration, and they just treated me with like all kinds of medicine, and they like kept trying me on a lot of different things. Like I'm on Thorazine, and the Zofran wasn't working, so I had to get on promethazine, which is Finagrin, and I'm on like an antacid, I'm on like all this stuff. And so this was like after I've already gone to a GI doctor, and they're all like, it's something with the GI, you need to go to a GI and everything. Well, the problem was I had just gone to a GI November 10th. I went to a GI. I know because it's still on my calendar, because that's how much I haven't like fixed myself. But November 10th I went to the GI and got like a colonoscopy. I think that was whenever I did. I got an upper and lower endoscopy and everything, and I don't care if you think that's gross, whatever, this is medical, grow up. Seriously. So anyways, I got those done. They came back normal. They said, you don't have Crohn's, which was like what they were really afraid. They were like, you don't have this, you don't have this. Like, we can't find anything wrong with you. We're going to have to do a different test. But they never ordered the test they needed to do. They kind of just sent me on my way, and then like, you know, rubbed me off. Like, I don't know if you guys experience this, but with like, I'm not trying to be shady, but with like Louisiana doctors, especially like down south doctors that deal with a lot of people that, you know, are just trying to peddle medicine and stuff, are trying to get medication and everything, they rub you off. Like, once they don't find the problem immediately, they don't want to look further. They want to like push you off on someone else, send you to a different specialist, just not basically search until they find the answer. So that's why I still hadn't been treated for any GI issues. I get released from the hospital on my birthday, December 13th. I remember, obviously, it was my birthday. I was so happy to go home. But like, the next day, I woke up still sick, like, so sick, in pain. Like, I didn't have any pain medicine anymore. I was on, like, what was I on? Fentanyl. I think I was on fentanyl, and then I was on Demerol and Finagrin for a while, because the fentanyl was really hard on my veins or something. I busted, by the way, I got stuck, what was it, 18 times, I think was what I counted, in my legs and arms. I got stuck over 18 times while I was in the hospital for that week. This vein right here, actually, it feels like plastic when you touch it, because they busted it so bad. It's just, I don't think I'll ever be able to use it again. But anyways, whatever. But I got it on my birthday, and I was sick the next morning. Like, all my medicine's out of my medication, you know, out of my system. You know, I'm not getting fluids anymore. I'm throwing up again. Like, I'm throwing up so bad. I'm so sick. I'm screaming in pain. The person who's been taking care of me, who think, you know, I'm so thankful for him. That could be an entire video on its own. He stayed by my side. Oh God, he slept maybe 3 hours during the busiest season for his business, and I'm so thankful. Yeah, I'm really thankful. But anyways, at this point, he's frustrated. I'm frustrated, and he's like, we're going back to the doctor. I'm calling, you're going back to the doctor. So he calls my friend. She meant like, who gave me this necklace in her wedding. Thank you, love you. Hope you're having fun on your honeymoon. But anyways, she takes me to the doctor, and we end up going to a GI in Shreveport. We get sent immediately from the office, because the doctor that I had been seeing, who had put me in the hospital in December, was like done at this point. She was over it. She's like, you haven't eaten in over a month, you're throwing up, you're like sick, you're not keeping fluids in you, and so you're getting a feeding tube. Like, I'm done. Like, I don't know what else to tell you. And so she's like, go to the GI. I'm sending you to the GI, because the only thing I know is to put you in the hospital and put you on a feeding tube, and that would be better done in Shreveport. Or if you want to go back to your GI in Lake Charles, which was the one I had originally seen in November, if you're still following all this crazy, And I was like, no, I don't want to go home. I just send me to Shreveport, send me to a GI in Shreveport, and I'll go to the appointment. She's like, okay, I'm calling you, getting you an appointment right now. It's at 3 o'clock. Leave right now. At this point, it's like 1:45. So my friend drives me all the way to Shreveport from Natchitoches, like immediately to the office, and the lady's so nice. Like, I think it was the doctor's physician under him, like, you know, he was the one that does like the surgeries and the procedures and stuff, and she does like the appointments and like all that, but she's not a nurse. She was like an actual doctor. Honestly, I'm probably not making a lot of sense, but it was like a GI associate's place. And anyways, so I saw this doctor, and she looked at all my work, because at this point I should like go get this folder just to show you, but at this point I have a folder this thick. Can you, yeah, this thick of medical papers, like just hospital discharges, test results, MRI CDs, like, you know, and bills, invoices, everything, anything and everything you can get whenever you're going through this is what I have in this folder, because honestly, I would not be able to keep track of it otherwise. Like, what am I supposed to do? At this point I have so many doctors, and I've seen so many people, and there have been so many medications tried that don't work, and I need them to know that, and all these things, and I've already had these tests done. I don't want to pay for them again. You know, a $400 MRI after insurance is like not something you want to have done twice. I have this folder, and so she's looking at this folder and these files and everything I have, and she's like, do you have a history of pancreatitis in your family? And I'm like, yes, I do. Like, my mom and my meemaw get pancreatitis. I think maybe my grandma did too. I don't know, but it's hereditary. Apparently, when you have a hereditary predisposal to this, you have a more likely chance of getting it, even though I'm only 23 years old, and this is not a problem I'm supposed to be dealing with. This is what I'm dealing with. So, anyways. So I'm diagnosed with pancreatitis, and I'm put on special enzymes. On these special enzymes that they have to make in a pharmacy, we have to get it shipped because they have to make it in special pharmacies and curate and blah blah blah. And so it's expensive, and I have to take it every time I eat. I have to take 2, like a meal I have to take 2, and when I eat a snack I have to take 1. So the medicine I'm on is called Pancreatin, and it's a mix of 3 enzymes called lipase, protease, and amylase, and I'm on 625 milligrams of it. I don't know. Do with that what you will. And I'm on that and have to take it every time I eat, and honestly, I'm kind of bouncing back, which is where the story is going next. But I want to read you a couple things about this medicine first, just so you can kind of understand what I've been going through. I'm not going to read you pancreatitis stuff because, like, honestly, if you guys read about pancreatitis, you'll know I've been dying. So, or if you know anyone that has had it, you'll know how bad it is. And it says, pancreatin is a combination of digestive enzymes, proteins. These enzymes are normally produced by the pancreas and are important for digesting fats, proteins, and sugars. Pancreatin is used to replace digestive enzymes when the body does not make enough of its own. Certain medical conditions can cause this lack of enzymes, such as cystic fibrosis, pancreatitis, pancreatic cancer, or pancreatic surgery. So basically, my pancreas is broken and it went kaput, and so now I have to take these enzymes that my body is supposed to make naturally, that are supposed to mix naturally in my stomach, and since it is such a difficult medicine to make with the 3 different enzymes you have to mix, it has to be specially made in a lab, it has to be specially curated, and then it has to be mailed to me, which is expensive all around. And when you don't have a job, expensive all around is not something you want to hear about. Okay, I'm sorry. I have like hiccups. Okay, so at this point it's Christmas. I'm on this medicine and it's Christmas. So I go home for Christmas and it is terrible, you guys. I mean, it was awesome. I love seeing my family. I love my family. I'm so glad I did it. I'm so glad I went, but I cannot travel alone. Like, no more. I can't do it. I just can't do it because I'm too sick. Like, I'm honestly just too sick to, I gotta quit playing with this. I'm just honestly too sick to travel alone because driving is so hard. My car, it rattles and it hurts my bones. It like hurts my muscles. And then my cruise control is broken, so I have to hold the pedal down the whole time. And if you've ever like driven 3 hours trying to go like in between through towns and then cruising at 75 for hours, like it's a lot, okay? So I'm exhausted. On the way back, I actually fell asleep like 20 times on the road, and thank God for the wake 'em up bumps because me and Karina wouldn't have made it. Powered through. I didn't even go to sleep. I got home, I hurried up, I put my makeup on, put clothes on, went did Christmas, and then we watched a movie. We had dinner, which was like not a typical Christmas dinner. It was like steaks and broccoli. It was really good. And then we went for a walk downtown and the lights, and it was really awesome, but I was exhausted. So I got really sick, like I got a cold. It was also, it was hot outside for Christmas, so I don't know why I got a cold, but I did. I got a really bad cold, and I still have it, like, I'm like still, ew. And my nose is all bloody and gross, and you probably don't want to hear about this, but whatever. And so I'm kind of been bouncing back to that. Fast forward to New Year's, January. Let's go. Let's get this video going. This is going to be a 10-hour video. I'm so sorry. January, I continue to be sick with pancreatitis and a flare, like an autoimmune flare. You know, it's basically this time of year I always get an autoimmune flare, but this one's honestly not as bad as some of the last ones I've had, but combined with the pancreatitis, it's kind of like, you know, knocking me on my feet a little. I guess it was about the 6th of January I finally started to like bounce back. Like I stopped sleeping like most of the morning and then taking naps during the day. Like I mean I needed naps, guys. I needed like 18 hours of sleep a day to function, like, and then I wasn't even getting small tasks accomplished. I would make myself like these little to-do lists of like do a load of laundry, make the bed, you know, wash the dishes, unload the dishwasher, and I would only get like one of those things done before it was like suddenly 10 o'clock at night and I'm exhausted again. I was at my friend's wedding. Thankfully I was able to like pull myself together long enough for a couple days to go to Texas for her wedding, and it was awesome. And I'll probably insert a picture on the screen like right here of us, you know, so you can check out us in all our beauty and look at her, the beautiful blushing bride she is. We come back from the wedding and I'm exhausted because traveling 4 hours and going around town, and we did a lot, like we walked around town a lot, we shopped. We got back from Texas on Saturday, and today is Friday of this week, next week, you know. And yeah, the last 2 days I've kind of woken up with like a little more kick in my step. Like I kind of feel like getting ready and bouncing back, you know. I feel like I'm bouncing back. I feel like I'm doing as much as I can, as well as I can be expected to at this moment in time. When you're sick for that long and you know, the main point of this story, like the main reason I'm telling you this is like, yes, I disappeared for a while, but I want to let you know that I'm going to try to come back to YouTube as much as I can while I'm cooped up in the house with energy, because at this point I'm not well enough to leave the house and do work, like do actual labor and, you know, work, and I really want to. I really feel like a terrible person for not being able to do my job, and nothing makes me more upset than the fact that I just sit here in the house all day and clean, and, you know, I try to help with as much as I can while I'm here. Like anything that I get asked to do, I do, and, you know, I try to do those things, but it's like I still go stir crazy. And if it's different, it's like when you're sick, you just don't feel like doing anything, you're laying around and you really don't care. I'll watch an entire season of RuPaul's Drag Race while throwing my guts up and just like not, you know, like I don't care that the whole day went by because I didn't feel good. But it's like whenever I'm feeling kind of okay, like I'll have moments to where like I'll have to run and throw up, or I'll be really sick and I'll have to lay down. I have a migraine, I don't feel good, I need a nap right now, I'm so exhausted. But the past 3 days it hasn't been so intense to where I've been in bed every day that I haven't been able to do anything except that. And so I've been trying to do a couple things. I edited a video for something else yesterday and uploaded it, and I decided last night that I was going to film today. I was just going to bite the bullet and do it, and even though it's filled me with anxiety to think about sitting in front of the camera, as funny as that sounds, and uploading it, it's just like, it's terrifying. It's because there's so much judgment now. It's like I've let so many people down by being sick, and I owe so many people an explanation. I feel like I've let so many people down, and it makes me feel like the worst possible way I could ever feel. Like, I don't want to feel it. I'm trying not to cry, because, like, this is why I put on so much makeup, so I wouldn't cry. But it makes me feel like the worst person, and I'm not that person. I want to be a good friend. I want to be a good worker. I want to improve the business that I work for. I want to provide for, myself and others as much as I can. And right now I can't even take care of me. And that's terrifying, and it's terrible. And I'm finally getting my feet underneath me, and I feel like I have 2 left feet right now, but at least they're under me. I'm coming back, and I'm gonna be back, and I'm doing it, and I'm working on it, and I'm calling the doctor, trying to get an appointment to figure out what to do when I run out of these enzymes, because I've read that if your pancreatitis is chronic and everything, that you can have to remain on this medicine for the rest of your life. And I've had stomach problems for a really long time, so if it just got to the point where my pancreas can't keep up anymore and this is going to be a lifelong problem, then I need to know about it. And, I would like to get all my test results that I paid for, and that I paid for CTs and MRIs and everything, and I went through so many weeks and weeks of blood work and testing, and it was a lot. And so I'd like to get some answers, and the only thing the lady mentioned whenever I was in the office was the medication which she put me on, and then also surgery. And I don't really want surgery. I'm not gonna get into that right now, but yeah, so that was the other option. So I just need to that's where I'm going next. That's my next step, is figuring out what to do from here, where to go from here, how to get treatment from here. I also need to get back with my rheumatologist, because I haven't seen them in 9 months, I think, which is really, really bad for someone with as much autoimmune problems as I do. And as soon as I can get back to work and I don't want to go back to work prematurely and then not be able to continue and just let people down again. That's my worst fear, is that I'm going to come back too early and I'm going to let them down. And I don't want to do that again. I feel like I've already done that. So I feel like when I come back, I want to come back strong, and I want to help, and I want to be the best me I can be, and I want to have my health under control and my medications regulated. And so I think that that's my next step. And other than that, thank you guys so much for being here, for watching. If you're still watching to the end, you must really care about me for some crazy reason. But thank you, I love you, and I'm gonna see where this takes me. And let me know in the comments what kind of content you guys want to see. Do you guys want to see vlogs? Do you want to see cinematography vlogs? Where I go out and do time lapses, or scenic shots? Do you want to see more tutorials? Do you want to see a fashion video? What do you want to see? I will do whatever you want, because I owe you that much while I'm cooped up here. So anyways, let me know what you want to see, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.